I'm Elliot Kleinberg, and this is Something Went Horribly Wrong, a blog about bad writing and how to fix it. Segment 22, Style. The concept of style isn't so much a question of right or wrong, but rather okay versus better. It's a method by which institutions create rules for how to say certain things so they're consistent. It just helps. Every newspaper in America, not to mention the Associated Press, has a Bible called a style book. Both myself and Lou Ann Freyla, my colleague on the Horribly Wrong team, worked on a committee that in 1993 updated the style book for the Palm Beach Post. Now, each of the following examples is in keeping with the AP style book, and those guys seem to know what they're doing. Number 1, over 100 planes flew over the city. Well, over is more about place than math, so you should say more than 100 planes flew over the city. Then your sentence is a lot cleaner. Number 2, fewer gas cars means less gasoline used. Now that is correct. You use fewer for objects, less for volume. Fewer cars, less gas. Number 3, Congressional Medal of Honor. Its official name does not include Congressional. It's just the Medal of Honor. Number 4, the Washington Senators were a whopping 17.5 games behind the Yankees. Now, why do newspapers and TV do this? If you never are going to use 17.6 games or 17.4 games, right? It's just 17 games or 17 and a half games. That's it. So, number 5, the jury found the defendant innocent. Now, this is an important legal point. It's not just a style thing. Under the American system of justice, a jury does not rule that someone was innocent. It rules that prosecutors failed to prove the person was guilty. More than one jury has said it believed the person committed the crime, but the state didn't prove it, so he or she walked. What would be preferred is to say a jury found the defendant not guilty. Number 6, the Democrat Party. Now, we want to be careful here, because this gets into politics, but not really. It's not the Republican Party. People on the right started a policy of not saying Democratic Party, and instead said Democrat Party for obvious optics. Now, if you want to do it, go ahead. We're going to follow our style and not just because of politics. Number 7, police released a report. Who came up with this idea of agencies releasing a report? It conjures up images of the reporter as Oliver Twist, empty plate in hand, waiting for some government agency to deign to provide information. Please, sir, I'd like some more. And frankly, release suggests that the agency is giving us information as an act of charity. This is public information to which the public is entitled. Now, the optic also is of someone opening a cage door. So don't say they released, say they posted or provided. Number 8, this was the worst plane crash in U.S. history. And I've been arguing with this people forever. You can argue that a plane crash that killed a lot of people was the best plane crash. And the worst plane crash would be a plane that didn't crash. Well, we're going to go with, being dignified. And daily usage probably has overruled us on this one. So maybe you would say the most horrific plane crash. By the way, remember not to substitute deadly plane crash. We talked about deadly in a previous segment. Number 9, it's one thing to be a killer, but JFK's murderer was the assassin of our time. That sentence is correct. You can be a killer, accidental, without being a murderer. And most murderers are not assassins. An assassin is the killer of a political figure. So get the terms right. Number 10, Dr. Joe Biden is not a doctor. This caused a bit of a stir just before Joe Biden's inauguration as president. Associated Press style is to use doctor only for medical doctors. And so the wire service would not say Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Henry Kissinger, or Dr. Martin Luther King. Some newspapers have chosen not to follow that rule, and while we at Horribly Wrong do follow it and would not call Mrs. Biden Dr. Biden in news stories, we do note that Jill Biden does have a doctorate, and she and others can use doctor in front of their names if they want. Next time, know your geography. I'm Elliot Kleinberg.